talk about my first date. And hopefully at the end of it, you're going to see that you want a first date like this too. So I'm going to take you right there. So I'm driving my 1996 Camry. Windows don't really work. And I'm showing up to this girl, and she's absolutely beautiful. Now, let me paint you a little story about myself. I'm the kind of kid in high school who wore cargo shorts every day and like a different colored, solid colored t-shirt. It'd either be green, usually white, sometimes red, and that was about it. So this girl is beautiful. She's like a cheerleader. She's like going to University of Michigan. And so, long story how I got there, I don't really know. But the fact is, I'm showing up for my first date. And I do a lot of things wrong. I have a lot of confidence the entire way. But, so, I ring the doorbell, and she comes out, and she's dressed beautifully. I mean, she's in a little bit of, revealing clothing. You know, that's kind of, I guess, how cool people do. And here I am, first date. I have no idea what to go off of, except pretty much cartoons and, like, a little bit of romantic comedies I sometime watched, but turned off because it was a little sad. And so here I am, dressed in like a button-down white shirt, nice shoes, and a dozen roses. I'm a senior in high school. It's the summer. And it's like, thank you for the odds, it's also highly embarrassing. So she sees me, and there's something about me that sort of like captivates her. But all of a sudden she's like, all right, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So I get a little worried, she invites me in, and I meet her 23-year-old brother who plays hockey and stood there with a hockey mask and hockey stick at the door of the entire time. And so while I wait there, while she takes what God knows feels like an hour to get ready, I am just standing there, waiting patiently. And her father's talking to her in the room, and I can only know loud noises. And she's Indian, they're speaking Hindi, and I don't understand anything that's going on except for the man in the hockey mask that is staring at me. So after about what feels like 3 days, we get out, probably about 10 minutes, and we go to the movies. And we're sort of waiting. And my only redeeming quality at this point is that the way I spent high school is I taught martial arts classes to little kids. And I see one of those little kids, but he doesn't know that I am so awkward that I have no idea what I'm doing. So when he comes over and I'm waiting for the movie and I'm standing next to my date and I have no idea what I'm doing, that he's like, oh, Dan, what are you doing? Is this your girlfriend? Are you talking to her? Where are you taking her to dinner? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why are you talking to me? And so which is very awkward. And so time comes to pick the movie. And I can either pick The Devil Wears Prada, I think a good first date movie, or Nacho Libre, which is and he is like, Nacho Libre, of course. So we go and take the movie. And I'm a health nut. I teach martial arts classes. And so I get like a giant soda popcorn, because that's what they do in the movies, that's what they do in the cartoons, and I'm sort of making up as I go along. And she falls asleep during the movie, I swear. And I, too much of a health nut, just hold the soda the entire time, and popcorn. One would think someone less socially awkward than I would just put it down and enjoy the movie. But after a good hour and a half nap for her and me, which makes it worse, if she's napping, I'm like crying, it's so funny, a Nickelodeon movie. Which makes the situation even worse after we wake up, is there is this girl, Haley, and Haley was a girl who had asked me out months before. And Haley has, and I don't mean to joke, this is just part of the story, has severe emotional issues and for a variety of factors continues to seek help for mental health. It doesn't take away from the humor of it that she sees me with another girl in the movie. And so I run into her, and the two of them have some sort of bonding that I'll never quite understand that always seems to take girls into the bathroom to continue the conversation. My first exposure, and certainly not my last. And after about 20 minutes of me waiting outside with Haley's boyfriend, the boy who was dating this girl, who I had previously refused and can only help feel immensely guilty that I helped contribute to her most recent need of mental health services, and waiting outside in the rain. True. We eventually return home. And I drop her off at her house, and we had this sort of conversation where she tells me she doesn't want to see me again. And I'm in no way surprised, but I'm deeply mortified. And so I do what any person would do in that situation. I blurt out something completely inappropriate. But to my knowledge, her friends gossiped a lot, and so I blurt out for some unknown reason the only rumor I heard. Your friends all think you have herpes. To which, in the car, she begins to cry. After 20 minutes of not being able to help her at all, just sort of sitting there and twiddling my thumbs and looking out the window and just sort of offering like, do you want medical help, or these are good friends? I didn't know what angle to take to reassure her. Her father eventually comes out of the house. To which I let her go because God knows I couldn't be further from that thing her father was thinking about. So I go home. The date is over. She no longer wants to see me. And the theme of the night is, one night, I call up my doctor because I need to know if I can get herpes kissing someone in the mouth who may have had herpes from oral sex. To which, when I call up my doctor and tell my father, you can't get it. So, when I wake up in the morning, having embarrassed myself to my doctor, my father, and everyone else, if there's anything I leave you with, it all went away. I never talked to the girl again. I never had this embarrassing conversation with my doctor again, and my father let it go. So even your biggest mistakes, even if it's performing 10th at World Cafe Live, it can all be over in a minute.